Northwestern Mutual is out with a new survey on how much money Americans think they will need to retire. But there's a pretty large gap between what people think they're going to need versus what they've actually saved. Yahoo Finance's Kerry Hannon joining us now with more. And Kerry, what did we find out from this survey? How big that gap is?
I know, it's pretty interesting and kind of not that surprising. The average American says they need $1.27 million in order to retire comfortably. Now, I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking about with comfortably, but that's the term. That's up a little bit from last year. It kind of jumps around a bit. You know, people in their 50s are looking at 1.56 million, people in their 40s, 1.28. But here's the thing. The average American only has $89,300 set aside right now. Again, that's up slightly, but my goodness, that is a big gap between what their expectation is and the reality today. So that sort of reinforces this idea that people really need to focus on saving, which is super hard to do, especially during inflationary times, but it is really critical when you're thinking this way. The other interesting piece that came out of the study is, you know, people think they're going to live to 100, right? Now, we're not that surprised because we've been hearing longevity, but 3 in 10 people say I'm going to live to 100. And they also say they plan to retire at age 65, which is up from age 64. They bumped it up a little bit because they realized they need to work a little bit more and save a little bit more, because I think the realization that there is this gap is starting to occur to people. But consider that, how they're going to finance 3 decades in retirement, because when Northwestern Mutual actually asked people, okay, so what do you want to do in retirement? They're like, oh, I'm thinking about, I'm going to relax. I'm going to travel. I'm going to spend time with friends and family. Very few people said they wanted to continue to work in retirement in any way, nor did they want to start anything entrepreneurial. In fact, they didn't even really want to volunteer that much, which is kind of surprising. But so these are a bit, startling numbers and wake up calls for people to realize that, hey, that's a cool million plus is a lot to sock away. And it's imperative, the sooner you can start, the better.
So, I mean, that begs the question, what is that first step people should be taking? What can they do to make sure they're more prepared?
Yeah, that's a great question, because what Northwestern Mutual found is that 33% of people that they surveyed have done absolutely nothing to address this situation. And the things that people need to do very clearly are, okay, obviously save more, right? That's important to do. Do a financial plan. I think you can't underestimate how important it is to crunch the numbers, it's important to dig down and say, how much do I need to spend in retirement? And what's a reasonable amount? And I think once people look at those numbers, actually do that exercise, it gives you a sense of a goal, of what to aim for, and also a bit of security that, yeah, I can do that, and I'm going to have a plan to move forward. Working with a financial advisor can truly help you stay accountable to doing these things and organize this. But before you even do that, there's some great retirement calculators online that people can look at. AARP has a very good one. Fidelity, Vanguard has one. These are all ones that you can run some of these calculations on your own and sort of just jumpstart this whole notion of, what do I need? $1 million plus is a lot of money. How do I get there?
Yeah, much better to start early and be prepared then. Kerry, thanks so much for that.
Thank you.